Limerick of their mutual youth.
Jim Kemmy, with all due respect to him, was a very close friend of Frank McCourt.
No, he wasn't. I didn't meet him just before he died.
He was.
I met him just before he died.
I can't believe a
so
word
you're
out
a
of your
liar.
mouth. You're a liar.
I met him just before he died.
I can't believe a word
didn't
out of
know
your mouth. I'm sorry,
Jim Kemmy. Jim Kemmy.
You're a liar.
I'm not sure who the audience are applauding, by the way, but I must let Frank get back in from the charges to respond to the charges you've made.
The name Teresa Carmody was one I made up because I was not going to name the actual person.
The name of the girl in Bavaria. You seem to have a morbid fascination for necrophilia.
I do. I like women.
For necrophilia.
If you don't mind, I like women.
Necrophilia.
I love women. I'm mad about women. I've been married 3 times, and the one I'm married to now is going to last forever because I'm infatuated with women.
Women who are 3
protect my
minutes
own
away
wife,
from
I
their
make
death.
up a false name. I don't know why you're so obsessed with me. Don't you have a life? Go ahead and live. Do something.
Women.
Go ahead. Find a cause. There are poor people in Limerick. Go and help the poor of Limerick. Don't obsess with me all the time. You're there, you're in a city in Ireland, south of Ireland, and you're obsessed with me, and I'm sure there are a few people in Limerick. When they sent out casting calls for the movie in Limerick, hundreds of people showed up, then they brought their children to be in Angela's Ashes. And if they hated the book and the movie, why were they auditioning for this terrible
Willie
movie?
Harreld? You said Willie Harreld.
Jerry,
You said Willie Harreld. You said Willie Harreld.
I want to go down here because
you said
because there's one thing I want to ask you.
This
and
man
it's
said-
hang on, it's the
this man
question.
said-
It's the
I made a
question.
mistake,
Hang on,
yeah,
shh.
yeah.
Most people watching this
He
have no
castigated.
idea of the people you're talking about because it's
Hello. 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 Hi, Grim, Dan, Conrad, Adam. Welcome in, Harry. We have a wonderful Sunday. It's Sunday. Getting down on Sunday. Good morning. It is morning somewhere. Maybe for you. So welcome in. Hi, King Al. I hope you're keeping all well. We're, I burped there. Don't know why. Hello, mad scientist. I don't think I can fix your broken body. I'm sorry. I could make a robot. Dead. Close enough? We are making a robot today. We are. I think this is the final push of Bob today. Today, Bob is ending. Because I printed the little templates we designed yesterday, and I put them together, and it turned out really well. Fell apart. Oh well. But it turned out really well. However, there's a few kinks in it that I'm not happy about. But it turned out really well. So first of all, I want him wider. I want Bob to be bigger. Number 2, Frank McCourt. I want Bob to be thicker. We want him to be a thick boy. Because, yeah, there's actually not that much space on the platforms for our robot to fit in. Exactly, thick Bob. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the first part of the stream redesigning this and sending it to the print. While it's printing, we will be doing some chemistry today. I know, shocker. And after we do some chemistry, hopefully the print will be done and we'll put Bob together. And that will be stream. I hope so anyway. That's my goals, my to-do lists today. It's probably a good thing to have on stream in the corner, today's to-do lists or something. You know what? Let's see what we can do. Today's work. And get a sticky note artwork. That might be a great idea. Good morning, Cello. How are you doing? Do you hear some Baldur's Gate music in the background, headphone user? My 3D printer is in operation. I thought it would be done by now, but my filament got stuck. So I had to, like, you know, unstick it twice. Sticking it twice. Gotta find out who's a tofu or nice. Hi, Kip. How are you doing? You're not here usually this early. Welcome in. Documents. Folder. Here's some. Is it? That's not it. The heck is that? Oh, it looks kind of like a blackboard or something. That doesn't sound like a terrible thing, actually. We could have a little bit of a blackboard going on here. Ah, I didn't even mean to add this image, but it's a nice idea. I have this notion of doing this, and watch it. I'll never update this to-do list ever again because I'm so terrible. Speaking of terrible things. Hi, Tarek. Hello, Mord. Welcome in. Hope you guys are keeping well. There we go. That's our to-do list today. I hope you're all happy. All very happy with today's to-do list. There we go. Hi, Lind. Привет. That was pretty loud. Yes, Tarek's sound alert is extremely loud. There's nothing I can do about it, I think. I've tried lowering it down before, and it never works. Let me see. And it's like the oldest sound alert. Tarek was the first sound alert, I believe. Yeah, his volume is the lowest. Isn't that insane? I'll decrease the volume even more, but... What can men do? What can men do against such reckless sound alerts? It's all Tarek's fault if you really think about it objectively. Oh, I hear my 3D printer getting stuck again. Another hour left. I'm 3D printing. I'm 3D printing a periodic table with the elements listed according to their explosivity. So there we go. Oh dear, not chemistry. Yeah, we're gonna do chemistry. I want to do more chemistry videos for sure, because like I said, I'm kind of finishing up on most stuff that I know and teach. Well, maybe not most. Maybe it's an exaggeration, but if I want to be as outgoing and optimistic and eccentric as I am when it comes to teaching, I think I need to keep my passion alive. And I'm running out of robotics stuff. Not robotics, sorry, electronics. The building stuff is still going for sure. I still have a lot of stuff to build. And I talked a lot on stream before about how I'm wary about learning new things on stream because of watching tutorials. Because the way I learn is watching YouTube most of the time. So usually if I'm learning a new thing, I watch YouTube or I watch videos. And my concern is copyright issues. Now, a lot of people have pointed out, it's like, look, Tofu, there's people who do reaction videos and they're getting away with it. But technically, the reaction video people are actually doing something, I think, borderline illegal, question mark. borderline not appropriate. So I don't know if we should be... Yeah. But there is like this whole fair use thing as well. Oh, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. As hard learned programming as I... Oh yeah, chill. I think that it's the best way to learn. YouTube is amazing. There is so much free education and information on YouTube. It's amazing. Illegal and inappropriate are... That's true. That's true. And I don't want to be like, again, stealing content from other creators. It's not kind of the idea. Yeah, but I guess that's where the grey area comes in, Kvizir. What does sufficiently transformational mean? So, for example, me watching a YouTube video on how to G-code and me G-coding alongside you, is that considered good enough? No? Oh, it's hard to tell. I feel like it's hard to tell. This is very greyish, in my opinion. But yeah, I do agree that a lot of the reaction videos are not fair use, sure. But I guess they get away with it because they're such large content creators. Because I do hear of, not horror stories, but stories of people getting sued over content like that. Oh well. It is what it is. It is what it is. But there's also like reaction educational videos. I do know of content creators out there who watch shorts of science stuff and then they like add their opinion to things, which is a whole thing as well. Hi Shakira, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Sunday, flaming hot potato peeler. Long live Bob. Yes, Bob is going to live long today for sure. Yeah, because that's some things I could do. But also, there's a weird thing about that. It's like, well, why am I hiding this video? I want to show you what video I'm using. I want to show you the link. I want to give credit where it's due, you know. It's so weird that I have to hide it. It's just such a weird, morally weird thing in this universe. I don't know. Yeah. Because if I'm able to do that, then I can stream like definitely an extra day. It'd be a nice way to do more science and technology streams. Yeah, I put in the link. I always, yeah, that's what I usually do. I usually show the link and everything. Look, maybe I just need to grow a pair of balls and start watching those videos for educational reasons. And if I get copyright struck, I just should get copyright struck. That's fine. I'll take it down. If they confront me, I'll say, look, apologies. I'm only doing it for good purposes. Oh, that's true, Tariq. Yeah, the content is taken from smaller creators who can't do anything. But if they took it from larger creators... You could reach out and get pre-permission. Most of the time they don't respond. I know this because I've tried that. I get no response. Yeah. I've contacted like 4 guys already on that topic. None of them are responding. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. We'll see. Maybe I'll play it by ear. I'll try out a few things and see how it goes. Did I brush my teeth today? I did. Sorry. I was just like, My mouth doesn't taste great. But it's just because I have coffee. RF, is that, what does RF stand for? Resonance filtering? Is that what you mean? Is there any way to know how true and representative educational videos are? Absolutely not, Snegluck. You're right. You have to be cautious about the videos you watch. There's definitely people who stretch the truth of physics and science for clickability. clickbaitability. I'm not going to name creators because that's not really what I do, but I have a lot of YouTubers in mind. I guess you do need to, like, there is an element of, I hate to be promoting this, but there is always an element of education. This is why you don't need to have a PhD in physics to be a science communicator on physics on social media, right? You could have, you know, you don't even have to technically degree. There's loads of science communicators out there who do loads of space science communication with no scientific background at all. And as long as they're sound and they do the research is very, very good. But getting an professional educational background does give that little bit level of trust and reliability to their background. So if you're wary about educational videos, I would definitely recommend maybe looking into their background. Do they have a background in that area? Because if they do, then it's probably a wiser thing to look into. When it comes to opinion pieces, you have to take it with a grain of salt that they're opinion pieces. I actually get into arguments with physicists to this day. Literally just a couple of months ago, I get into arguments all the time on renewable energy. It is a huge thing that people cannot agree on all the time. And so just because one of them says one thing does not mean they're wrong, and it doesn't mean they're right. It's very, very grey when it comes to opinion pieces on things like climate change, renewable energy, and so on and so forth. Like what policies to put into place, what will actually work. Because unfortunately, reality is we don't know which ones would work, which ones would be the best. It's all about hindsight. But if it's proper educational videos like electronics, all of that, anyone with an educational background, good enough in that area. Hi, Bulbadoom. Hello, Quizir. If I didn't say hello. Science Fish, hello. Yeah, but you're right. That's why we stay here. Yes, I'm right. I'm never wrong, chat. Take that.3D printer keeps getting stuck. Yeah, but unfortunately, there is a lot of misinformation going out there these days. There's a lot of people who have doctor in their titles when it turns out they don't have doctorates. There's a lot of people who share their opinions having a doctorate and share opinion pieces on realms that they aren't experts in. There's quite a lot of worrisome statements on the internet, so it is good to be careful about it. I'm watching the Chad's Prep Physics show. Sometimes crosses my mind. I don't know what Chad Prep Physics is. Never heard of that before. Oh. Chad, I've been helping some. So he sells education. His videos don't look anything too crazy anyway. But he doesn't state background, so I don't know if he has an educational background in the field. But his videos look fine, yeah. What was it called? The Nobel Syndrome one, where people who won a Nobel in the field talk like they're experts in another one. Oh, is there a name for that? Yeah. You have to be careful because when I was young, I saw some opinion pieces from very, very notable social media PhDs out there talk about batteries, and they got it so wrong. And I realized in that moment, it's like, oh, wow, okay. That was like my moment when it clicked for me, when I heard these big social media doctorates talking about something that I know a lot about. And I was like, this is very basic. How do they get this so wrong? And you just realize that what's basic to you isn't going to be basic to them. And yeah, they share their opinions without really understanding some things. Which is really something I really should be doing more. I really should be talking more about batteries. And renewable energy and all of that. But I feel like I have such a strong opinion, I will be quite controversial. And I hate people telling me I'm wrong and coming for me. So I just rather teach general science instead. Oh, the chiropractor one, Science Bish. Yes, I've saw a lot of that. I've had 2 doctorates of chiropractic fucking go after me on threads before. I couldn't believe it. I've never had that experience before, but the 2 people who went after me happened to be doctor of chiropractic. I don't know if that's the right term to use there. And there's a syndrome for everything these days. So tell me, what's the big controversy in the field of batteries these days? So, one of the big things in batteries is which battery is the next one to do research in. And there's a lot of cults of solid state is the next one to go into. Lithium needs to be pushed a little bit more. Flow batteries are definitely get a lot more popularity recently, which is great to hear, obviously from my biased perspective. But even if I am biased just because I do research in flow batteries, I understand, excuse me for burping, their limitations. I'm a pessimistic fucker, and I genuinely do not believe that there's anything going to be great about batteries. Yeah, salt batteries, that's the one I would love to do a video on for sure. That's kind of the controversies at the moment, which is the next battery we should really be investing our time and energy in, and my opinion is none and all. No battery is actually going to be very, very good. The lithium-ion battery was a huge jump in progress, and I don't see anything on the horizon that will be. But, you know, I let's hope I'm wrong, right? We want me to be wrong. Yeah, the renewable energy part is that, and I've had a few people even argue with me in Twitch chat about this, that they pointed out. It's like, well, that's not true, because I've talked to this person, and this person about it, and they say everything is great. And it's kind of, there's a dual dialogue about renewable energy. And what I mean by that is, from one perspective, it is great, it is good, and we should be investing, and it's fantastic. Solar panels are the best they've ever been. Their longevity has been increased to such a point, which is fantastic. Wind turbines are amazing. All this stuff, right? We have all these different ways of stabilizing the electric grid. We have these condensers, we have these giant capacitors, all good stuff. But there's a parallel dialogue in research and science, is that we're actually hitting capacity in stability of the grid. We're actually hitting capacity in response times. We're actually hitting capacity with energy storage in terms of what can be fed back to the grid. We've also hit capacity, or we've hit a cap in converters, so from AC to DC to AC and back and forth. And just because the bad stuff is happening doesn't mean the good stuff isn't happening either at the same time, right? 2 things can be true at the same time. So when I discuss all the bad stuff, as in the limitations that exist and what we need to be researching, I think a lot of people want to jump in and hate on me about it. Say, well, look at this. You know, that's not true because we've just installed this and this. And if you look at this, there's another article here. it gets very tiresome, you know. Just because things are progressing in one line doesn't mean there are no problems, you know. Anyways, that's my opinion about it. I think people painted very black and white. Oh, there's all these bad things. Oh, there's all these good things. Both can exist simultaneously, straight as two parallel lines. Exactly, Critter. Stuff like cost, energy security, and access to materials. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many things to consider, and just I don't know. People have strong opinions on it. I guess when I say I have strong controversial opinions about it, my opinion is that I haven't heard a good solution, like one good proper overall solution. So my solution to a lot of these problems is a little bit of everything. I think diversification is amazing. Getting as many different types of batteries installed, different types of renewable energies, having backup fossil fuel based generation with a monthly operational revival. So as in like, make sure your coal plant works once a month so that it works, you know. All these little things. I'm a strong believer in security for a nation. And it's not even just political security or war security. It's also resource security as well. Yeah, I think these are the things that need to be needed. But unfortunately, because of a lot of the push for green energy by governments, they tend to say things like, oh, we've destroyed all the coal plants in Ireland. We've shut down. None of them are operational. And on one hand, you're like, yay, that's great. But on the other hand, that security is gone. And then suddenly we have more outages than ever before due to the highest increase of renewable energy integrated with the electric grid than ever before. It's an established infrastructure already, and yeah, I'm always wary about those kind of things. Now, the problem as well with that is that if you have huge diversification on the electric grid, it causes issue with response time and conversions as well. You have to make very, very custom systems for each aspect. I think that's where electrical engineering needs to go. I think that's where a lot of research is needed, and I would be pushing and striving for that. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound great when you look at when you apply on the application paper. When you apply for funding, you want to talk about what you're doing with solar panels, what you're doing with wind turbines, but the real BOS? SOB. The real SOB is those conversions, is those little electrical systems in between. That's where the research would be amazing. But yeah, that's just my little opinion piece. Hi, Clem. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, there's a huge anti-nuclear power, Kvizir, and that one is very interesting to me because the renewable energy people are very split half and half. I tend to lean a little bit more towards renewable energy at the moment. With what we have, nuclear is really good. I know a lot of people hate to admit it. This is a very balanced and detailed opinion. Basically, my opinion is that everyone is wrong and no one is right. And yeah, that's the situation we're in. We need all the things, exactly. A little bit of everything is great. To be honest, if I push that, a little bit of everything, it would be so good for the environment already. Because the problem is there's crazy superpowers in the world that refuse to do that, right? But if we could get the superpowers to cop the fuck on, the rest of the world can easily follow. But it's the smaller nations that are pushing the other aspects for it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that nuclear baseline as well as Science Bish, yeah. There are always pros and cons for each proposed. Exactly. Exactly. Well, hopefully, Science Bish, maybe 2. Maybe 2, but yeah. Yeah, but I also, you're right about that Wombat Hole, but I also feel like the poorer nations that are trying to get their feet up, you know, that are going through what we went through, the industrial age and so forth, there is an element as well that I can understand of who are we as a nation, right? Where the fuck do we get off telling another nation, you're not allowed to cut down your trees, you're not allowed to burn coal and fossil fuel because it's bad for the environment, when we as a nation for hundreds of years destroyed our forests, destroyed our own landscapes for fossil fuel. So we're like, I understand that other side of the argument as well. It's not fair as well for us to speak to other nations in that way. Yeah. It's very, very difficult. I genuinely don't think it's as black and white as people make it out to be. It's very, very grey. Hi, Daniel. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Welcome in. How are you keeping, GDP? It is very, very hard to kind of consider all these things. But all we can do is just hope we go a bit forward in all little aspects. Hello, fellow nerds. Hi, Jay. Welcome in. Welcome in. The problem, Science Bish, with solar, though, that is the issue in my research, is the grid integration. It's instability with the grid, because it is a DC form of energy. It's not AC form. And so it destabilizes the grid in the long term, and that's the biggest concern. Yeah, the old nuclear power plants are a huge issue as well, because you had nuclear physicists before, you know? So no, yeah, so you do have the mini grids, Wombat Hole, we have that. So the library we built, hi Vijay, by the way, the library we built in Zambia has its isolated grid. You can have that. That's absolutely true. By using oxidation? No, we're doing just pure chemistry. We're gonna balance equations using 2s and 1s and 1s and 0s. How are you keeping, Lana? Hello, Gijo. Welcome in. Welcome in. Free stream streak. Let's go. We actually have loads of streakers. We had Ada, Fluence, Father Dougal with a 45. So many streakers in the chat. Streakers! I guess the solution would be to help a lot of nations. I think we owe a lot to some nations, sure. I've heard of that, Magos, yes. And batteries are just not good enough, Kvazir. Yeah, like, I really don't think batteries are, so what batteries are, okay, I'll explain. I think the big misconception or misunderstanding with this is that people think wind blows, great, store excess energy in battery feed to grid when no wind, right? The reality of the situation is that a battery can't store that much, right? One of the biggest battery plants infrastructures in China, I believe I know about, has 200 megawatt energy storage of vanadium, right? And so you might think, oh, we've had windy day all day for 6 hours. My grid was fed with power for 6 hours. Great. And then whatever excess we were able to store. That battery can only replicate what that wind produced from maximum storage for about 20 minutes usually. Batteries can usually, like if you live by some sort of gravity battery, vanadium flow battery, lithium ion battery station, they only give about 20 minutes of energy. They're massive grim already. They invest so much money on it. The battery isn't actually used to give energy to the grid for time. For pure time for pure energy, if that makes sense. What batteries are actually used for is to buy you time. The real idea behind them is to get a big generator up and running in that meantime. That's really what it's used for. It's to give you that precious timeline so that your grid doesn't falter. There is no battery out there. I'm trying to think of something now just to make sure I'm not incorrect about it. There is no battery out there that gives hours and hours of energy back to the grid. What it does do is buys you time. It's a frequency regulation, exactly one bat hole. That's all they really do. And that's not a bad thing. On paper, that sounds, oh, tofu, that's not what I thought batteries do. And that's true because we have not a childish understanding of the grid, but like we tend to have a fluffy version of what's happening in the grid. So yeah. Anyways, there's the issue with them. There is no battery technology that's good enough at the moment. There is some research being done in other batteries, like gravity batteries are quite popular. Sodium batteries, thorium? Thallium? No, thorium. Thorium ones are kind of happening at the moment. But so is diversifying better than stirring? Yes, at the moment. Hopefully it won't be the case. But at the moment, that's what I believe. Exactly, Zir, exactly. There are water pump plants, yeah. You need whatchamacallit. Landscape, favorable landscape to make these possible. How do we define barriers appear to include? Yeah, a lot of people keep talking about gravity battery, and I'm not a big fan of using that term. You're absolutely right, because by definition, a battery has to be an electrochemical reaction. Yes. So by pure definition, a battery has to have an electrochemical reaction. So saying a gravity battery is technically incorrect. Just gravity energy storage is probably a better term. Because that's how people define the difference between a capacitor and a battery. Because young kids will come in and say, well, what's the difference between a capacitor and a battery? Well, a capacitor stores its energy in an electric field, while a battery stores it in an electrochemical. Hi, Layer. Welcome in, welcome in. The weekend flew by. You poor Crater, Lana. Yeah, the weekend is flying by. I'm flying away tomorrow. I have to pack my suitcase. I haven't packed my suitcase yet, but I am flying away to Riga tomorrow. Bambi is staying at a bunny boarding place. She's going to meet some other bunnies. So a question, is electrochemical decent if the energy will be depleted within minutes and hours? Could you rephrase that, Watchmaker? I'm coming back on Sunday, Lana, so I'm going for a whole week. She is violently... So, not really, Grim. I don't know if I can say this. There's actually a video of Bambi being used as a demonstration of how to attempt to bond bunnies. Bambi's tiny, right? She's a small bunny. But no matter what bunny you pair with her, she tries to be the dominant one. Now, I don't know if you guys know what that means, but it means she does the sexy sexual act thing. Anyways, and she's quite aggressive about that. Yes. And she won't give up. It's not even just demanded to be pets. She dominates in yes, inappropriate ways, so to speak. So yeah, she's a bit of an asshole. Mistress Bambi. Okay, also, by the way, everything I said about batteries there, just bear in mind that I'm sharing an opinion piece for sure, for myself. What is a gravity battery? Actually, there's different types of gravity batteries. You're absolutely right, Dashmish. There's actually different types. So water pump is technically a gravity battery. You pump water up and then let gravity fall down, let the water flow. Another form is literally masses. Are flywheels considered gravity batteries as well? Are flywheels defined as gravity batteries as well? I'm not sure. It's a classification of a type of battery. Okay. Our battery is the best solution if you know energy will be... So that response time thing that I mentioned, watchmakering, is still very important. It's just not discussed by the masses, by the general public, because it's actually a hard thing to understand. And it's, what's the word? It doesn't sound as good. You know, when you tell a kid or a young person getting into renewable energy, you're explaining to them why there's a battery, why is there wind turbine, it's easier to explain to them that, oh, it stores the energy when we don't need it, and we feed the energy back to the grid when we need it. And technically, on a technicality, that is not incorrect. There's just more to the story. But that's not the real purpose behind batteries. Flywheel spun up by motor does not seem like it counts as a gravity battery. Wait, am I misunderstanding? Rather the potential with gravity. That's fair. But if I'm not mistaken, gravity batteries are like different types. It's not one type of thing. So there's tower-based, shaft-based, rail or rail mass, water-based gravity system. Okay, so yes, so I was right. There's different types of gravity-based. It's just a term of you use a motor or a pump to get something up, and then you let gravity act, go down. Flywheel's kinetic energy storage rather than gravity. Exactly. So yeah, that's what we have at the moment, and it is just dependent on what your land mass is like and if you can afford it. In Ireland, one of the best things we have is wind. We're a freaking stormy island, but we have huge pushback from people. For example, where I'm from, we had 3 amazing plans for offshore wind turbine installations, and all 3 got cancelled because of people protesting, because they said that it looks ugly on the Irish coastline. Sorry, I just get really... I'm not satisfied with that argument at all. But what's going to be pretty is the destruction of Earth in about 100 years. But that's fine. Yeah, fine. And then they argue, well, what about bird life? It kills birds. But then I like to point out that, well, did you know that 0.2% of bird life being damaged by wind turbines... Sorry, of the... How should I phrase this? Let me get this right. When you compare wind turbine killing birds versus domestic cats killing birds, wind turbines only contribute 0.2% to bird life damage. Cats contribute so much more and damage the ecosystem so much more than any renewable energy could ever be integrated to the electric grid. If I say that though, a lot of cat people go after me. I get a lot of hate from cat people. Can we donate them blindfolds? But yeah, a lot of people get really angry about that. Tofu hates cats. No, I think they're cute and they're adorable. But I do think there is an issue with dogs and cats. Any animal actually, horses, rabbits, that little shit that's upstairs at the moment. I love her. We shouldn't be pure breeding these animals and keeping them as pets. And I kind of changing the years. I used to be the biggest horse girl ever, and I'm nowhere near in that thought. I'm really down this rabbit hole of... It's a weird thing that we do of breeding a purebred animal that is sick, can't breathe, and its heart is going to fail after 6 years. Just for shits and giggles of humankind. I get a little bit upset thinking about those kind of things. Cats are responsible for the extinction of multiple host species. Is that true? Yes, I heard about the mirrors in space. I'm not sure. Are you talking about the Habsburgs? No, I don't know what that is about, Grim. I'm just more thinking about certain dog breeds. Yeah, that would be probably a better way of comparing it. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's crazy, Kvazir. Is hydropower not more efficient than wind turbine? Yes, it is. Hydropower is one of the best renewable forms of energy. But we just don't have the... so when we say hydropower, Ireland has amazing water sources. But when I'm thinking about hydropower, I'm thinking about dams. So you need really, really, really high mountains, really, really fast water rivers, right? We don't actually have any good mountains like that. Our Kerry Mountains are the best, but I can't think of a good river there. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to think. We don't actually have that kind of structure for those, but they're amazing. I think you're right though, Medicams, that hydropower is the best renewable energy, but it is so landscape dependent. Globally. Oh, okay. I'm not sure about geothermal. There was another article, a publication I read recently, Grim, in Physics Journal. They said that they overshot the estimates recently. I could be wrong. I was clickbait titled, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was like 3 years ago or so I read on the geothermal that there was a lot of concerns about it. I think the concerns were like the knock-on effect of it or something. Once it's built and starts to harness, the efficiency deteriorates quite quickly. I could be wrong though. Just build a mountain. That could be a solution, yeah. So yeah, build wind turbines, ban cats. But yeah, the other aspects of wind turbines is building wind turbines is really, really bad for the environment. Those blades don't come in cheap. They're really, really hard to build. Solar panels would be better in terms of cost. For energy storage, a lot of people aren't ready to talk about it, but lithium harvesting is so fucking bad. Oh my God. Jesus Christ almighty on a cracker. We are not recycling batteries properly, which is a huge issue at the moment as well. We're just throwing our tech out into the rubbish bin, not doing the proper recycling process. We don't know the lithium recycling lifetime process as well. So when I promote things like lead acid battery, you know, people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, lead acid battery is dangerous. Like, but we can recycle it. We don't have to throw it out. We can recycle all aspects of lead acid battery and we know what to do with it. The lithium ion batteries, great in all their ways, but we don't know yet about the shit we have to do with it. Until, again, research funding, that's probably something people should research. Oh yeah, absolutely, Kip. Just because I'm complaining about it doesn't mean it's bad. Does that make sense? No, they don't, Grim. They can leak though. Minutes left. The explosions from lithium ion batteries happens because the frickin' energy density of a lithium ion battery is that of a frickin' grenade. Dashmish, you got auto-modded. Chat, look at this message. I'm gonna allow it. Look what got auto-modded. So weird. Automod is so weird sometimes. Of the Swiss water battery, we're between two reservoirs. You dug a hole between the pumps, charging it. But yeah, that needs some elevation. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Star. Welcome in. Welcome in. Why don't you power Bob with a lead battery? Great question. The energy density is an issue with lead acid for sure. Is it though? Yeah, its weight is bad. You need it in something like, well, a car. But yeah, lead acid is still very, very good. Even if you have a hybrid. I own a hybrid car, so I have a giant lithium ion ass battery in my car. I still have a lead acid battery that's needed to actually kickstart the car. I think they're beautiful Medicams, yeah. Every time I drive through the Kerry Mountains, the freaking wind turbines look so beautiful. To me, when I see wind turbines and solar panels, I think, wow, what I get a beauty of looking at this. You know? When the other option would have been a coal plant, you know, with the fumes coming out of it. How is Bob? Bob is great. So there's the prototype Bob, and he's working really, really well. So today, I designed, well, yesterday I designed and I printed it off stream and I built it. I built the casing for Bob. The problem is it's too skinny. It's too flexible. And number 3, it's not wide enough, the plates, because some of my apparatus is chunky. So we're going to make Bob thicker. We're going to make Bob a little bit chunkier. That's the goal today. It is PLA. Hi, Layla. So what we're going to do is we're going to redesign that. While that's printing, we're going to do some chemistry today. I know, shocker. This might be my first time doing chemistry. Although I did do chemistry, vanadium reactions before. But this might be my first proper chemistry lesson today. Hi, Games Okay, welcome in. TPU would give you more rigid print. I just have PLA and a couple of PETG. I'm not a big fan of PETG. It doesn't stick very well. Although my dad did give me isopropyl thing. That is very good. I want to give him one of my 3D printers. So just thicker. So I just need a wider plate for a lot of the components to fit because it's too skinny. As far as I, there's not electric part of the rails, you should be able to move the car. I'll show you what I'm printing on the 3D printer now. This is what we're printing at the moment. Pretty cool. Yeah, I need to buy back Vizier, you're right. Does Bob approve of these changes, or is he happy the way he is? You know, it's true. I should be a bigger supporter of consent here. Tinkercad. There we go. If you ever visit Glasgow, I'd like to see the window. Yeah, I might. I have a few friends in my research circles in Glasgow, so definitely I think that's a possibility. I would love to be invited to a wind turbine. Like someone calls me up and says, "Look, we'll pay for, you know, your transport, but can you come over here, do some videos on our wind turbines? We just installed something cool." I mean, that's an amazing way of doing science communication. Just call up your local science communicators and say, "Yo, you want to go on top of a wind turbine?" Probably not. I still think about that historic incident of those two guys on a wind turbine when it got caught on fire. One jumped out to save his life and the other... Oh, God. Oh, geez. Yeah. I don't know if I could do that. Looks up where he can buy a wind turbine. They are loud. I do agree with that is a concern with them being loud for sure. But again, diversification. Definitely a big fan of that. Diversification all the way, baby. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change some dimensions here. I'm actually going to make it 70. So if it's 70... Do you think it is legal to get one and put it on a mountain in Barcelona? I guess if there's no one around, why not? But yeah, you have to get special planning to get any form of energy integrated, because all the grid is integrated. And if you add anything, it has to be officially registered. I know this because that was my first fucking year of my PhD, was finding every single wind turbine in Ireland. I made the data public. But yeah, I was very shocked and surprised it didn't exist. This is how bad it was. One of the wind farms didn't identify how many wind turbines they had officially. I had to look in Google Maps and count the wind turbines from Google Maps. Can you imagine that? Maybe you can, but yeah, that's something I had to actually do. I know. And hope the maps were recent enough. Whoa, 215. That's a huge amount of wind turbines. That's class. That's a lot of wind turbines. How many times did you lose your place and have to recount from scratch? Like here? In this case, none. But yeah, there have been projects. Is Barcelona good enough for wind, Laylat? You'd hope that people would have the physics knowledge to realize fans don't reduce air temperature, but rather help humans shed heat by taking perspiration more efficient. Definitely not intuitive. Just from... Oh, as in people think that a fan in the house, you know. Wait, you think people think that a fan cools you, like, cools the room temperature? Is that a thing? I mean, yeah, if they're very, very young. To be fair, if they're very young. That's actually... It just helps feel cool. It does, it does. One of the cool things I got to experience was when I was in the IRC, the JRC, sorry. They did something really, really cool. There was a room where it was technically 1 degree hotter in there, and it was just during a heat wave, so we were like, oh god. But because the humidity was so low, it felt cooler in there. We're like, oh my god, this is amazing. And it's like, actually, it's 1 degree hotter in here, but it's just because of the humidity. So yeah, humidity plays a huge role as well that a lot of people might not realize. Did I lose? Shit. That's annoying. I might have to recreate the top portion for... Oh no! Oh yes, oh please, oh please. Unmorph. Woohoo! We did it! Good job, team. Proud of you. So good. The best of slab rats I've ever had. Oh, do you know what else I need? I need to create the height of these. Want them thicker. It's not the heat, it's the humidity that gets you. Exactly. It's not the voltage that kills you, it's the current. Is the other version of that story. It's the height, not the sudden stop. Wait, no. It's the stop, not the sudden height that kills you, right? Isn't it the opposite way, Phoenix? Yeah, the humidity has been particularly bad in Ireland. You know, so many people complain, saying, oh, our Irish and UK people need to stop complaining about, you know, 33 degrees. That's nothing. We get that every summer. And it's like, God, my days. I was in Milan with 40 degrees. And it was way better to deal with it there than it was here. Also, aircon is a thing. We don't have aircon. We do. Nathan and I have aircon. We're very... Nathan had the ability of foresight. He saw the heat wave coming in and he was like, you know what? We need to invest. We can't be sleeping in this. Lo and behold, it came in very useful. Very useful in the end. Fix 3 plates now. What we might do is I'm going to try and be super smart about this. And I'm going to actually get my bamboo and my reality printing at the same time. Weren't you trying? Yeah, that's right, call me. I was. So, this is my new periodic table. Will it explode? A bit rough around the edges. My PLA might be off. Up as much as possible. Do your printers try to dominate displays against each other? Not that I know of. But I'll keep you updated. How about that? Oh, this is going to be an fix, but I can just delete that and just fix the one and then copy and paste it. That should solve a lot of our problems, I think. I'd be impressed if they were copying the rabbit. Oh, I don't know if people were here for Spin the Wheel yesterday. Did you guys know that we have Spin the Wheel yesterday? And we have a new game I'm playing. Did you hear about this? Yes, Tofu's starting a new game today. It's not that I don't want to play Mass Effect. I really love playing it. The problem is that because I played the game before, I find that I'm not distracted enough. And right now in my life, I need distractions. I need to be kept busy. So I was trying to pick a game that was a bit more brain active, so to speak. So we ended up playing Spin the Wheel. We landed on Space Program. So that is why I'm going to be playing it today. Be playing Kerbal Space Program. I hope so, Black Viper. That's my goal. I'm still sad about RimWorld. That's okay. That's okay. I think the brain activity is going to keep going until September. Like I said, I have 3 games I want to play in October. Until Dawn, Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil Requiem. But you guys know that I can't stream much during the semester because I have to teach. So I might have to start in September for those games. And for some reason, Christmas will be coming up. And I don't know if this is like logical, but for me, the Christmas vibe is very much Fallout. I don't know. I get Christmas vibe from Fallout. Did I play it? I guess I played it during Christmassy times. So yeah, I'm getting a nostalgia to try and play Fallout. Thinking about modding New Vegas. Yeah, no, October is a perfect time to start a horror game, but there's no way I can finish 3 games like that in 1 month. I shouldn't rush it. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I won't play Until Dawn. Just focus on Silent Hill, October, Resident Evil Requiem, for however long. Is Fallout the game version of Die Hard? Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Christmas movies are meant to be about love and family and Santa Claus and presents underneath the Christmas tree. That's all. Die Hard. I knew someone was going to say that. It's so weird. My paste button pastes twice always. Stuck on something.
And they call it a mine. A mine!
Oh my god. Stanley, thank you so much for giving a gift subs to Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Cannot believe. Well, I can believe, but I cannot believe. If there's an account, it must be true. Clearly. Clearly. Let's see if we can fit all these plates here. We might still be able to fit this plate. We'll see. I think I can still save this plate and then mess around with these objects inside the print. We'll see. If it is going to fit, then I think I have to do it this way. But here, let's say. Okay, so export. I'll bring up the Creality instead of the bamboo because I'm something else in the bamboo. It might be a bit loud in the background, and I think this print might take a while. I would say maybe... Three hours at least, I would say. I'm going to turn on display capture so you guys can see this, because sometimes it doesn't work really well. Oh. Oh. 'kay, what we'll do then is I'll just take 2 of these plates. We're gonna do this instead. We're gonna get the 2 printers simultaneously printing. We'll just get this done today. It'd be nice to get Bob working. You know? Download. Download cancels one. Thanks for the follows, by the way. Appreciate it. Hope none of you regret following this channel. And if you do, to the gulag we go. Okay. What would be a too cool color? Bob. Oh, do you know what? I have white on both. I'm just going to make Bob white. That was a bit weird. I just have white on both of the Creality print, on the Creality and the on the Creality and on Bamboo. Very privileged robot. Hi, Tetsu, welcome in. Open up Bamboo. Bum, bum, bum. It'll take 2 hours to print this. 3 o'clock now, I'll be done by 5. Okay. Fine. Airport. It can get pretty loud though when both printers are working. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you know, if you know how sound works, power of sound, even if there's just one hand clapping, get 20 people clapping, it's a lot louder and it accumulates. Same with the 3D printers. Even though a 3D printer by itself isn't very loud, it can accumulate quite quickly. And the last thing we should do is get the CNC milling machine. Do you use the same? Yeah, both PLA, both white. Just make them out of phase with each other. I wonder if that will be bad. Yeah, because they're on like not a sturdy table. I hate the table they're on. But I have ideas for the table I want. Pre had the same idea as Grim there. I'm gonna go get myself a bottle of water. Is it too early to drink alcohol? I mean, it's 3 o'clock and I didn't drink anything yesterday. I'm gonna be drinking all week though. Oh my god, I'm going to a wedding where 50% of the guests are Russian, 50% of the guests are Irish. What is my percentage survival rate? So yeah, that might be interesting. That's going to be a fun wedding. And it's a 2-day wedding, so it's a 2-day bender too. So who do you predict will be better drinkers? I think the Irish will be better behaved, but the Russians will drink way more and get way more pissed. Like the Russians statistically will be better at handling more alcohol, but they will take it too far and get absolutely pissed and trashed. Does that make sense? There is no too early to drink alcohol. Yeah, I'll do water first. We'll do water. We'll start alcohol a bit later. Just a little bit later. Does the Latvian health service know that this wedding is happening? I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. The weather's fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'll catch up. Great news, Science Fish. Great shoes. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set up the camera for you guys to watch both 3D printers. And the smell of plastic. Fucking opening the window. I need to set up my vent. So I got a fire trunk or an elephant trunk. So this is what I got. It's like there's a fan at the end, and I want to build a little thing here in between so that it like filters out the plastic. And I have a hole in my wall up there, and I want to build a whole elephant trunk. But this tube is too short by itself, so I need another elephant trunk. I would say I need another 3 to attach these guys. Yeah, I've been to Latvia before, like 10 years ago. Oh Jesus, it's like a slinky, I've lost it. Alright, my back. Guys in a bit. Yeah, I would say for the old city's beautiful, and it's not like there's not that many museums. There's not that many things to do in terms of if you go to Riga, you need to go outside of Riga to do things. There's like really amazing beaches, landscapes, but Riga itself, there's not too much to do. You can get it done easily in 2 days, I would say, from a touristy perspective. But yeah, I recommend going out of Riga. Yeah, but for a short trip, 2 days is loads, yeah. Sorry, you're looking at me, chat. know, might just... Okay, never mind. I'll just set up the camera this way. Go. Unfortunately, I have to close the window. I'm going to breathe in the wonderful fumes instead. So, Ireland is prone to some fires, and we've had a major forest fire quite far away from here, but we've smog. Our whole city's covered in burning, smogging forest fire fumes. So yeah, I have to close the window. Well, build plate PEI textured on both. So yeah, just crazy. We've had two huge forest fires in Ireland this year already. Rarely get them. Yeah, there's so many around the world. It's crazy. Yeah, but guys, don't you know? What's it called? Climate change isn't happening, though. Hope you know that. What's El Nino? Don't say that about Ireland. That's where I want to retire. But now that it's cleared up, my air purifier finally arrived. You poor Crather. The poor timing. So, Bob's casing is being printed by both of my 3D printers at the moment. And it's going to take the longer plate 2 hours. So Creality one is the big one. So that's going to take 2 hours to print. While that's printing, we are going to do some chemistry today. So yeah, I don't know, like, this is my first time teaching chemistry. I'm kind of nervous. So you might say, Tofu, where in the backbone do I have the qualifications or the rights to be chemistry? So just to explain a little bit about my background, I actually have a general science degree, where I have biology from a junior certificate level background, and I also have chemistry and physics at a elite certificate background. Lurk away, Tarek. Say hello to Cora from us. My master's was on the electrodeposition of copper, so I had electrochemistry background, and obviously my PhD is in vanadium flow batteries. Now, I did study physics phenomena around them, but it is still electrochemistry. So I'm more than qualified to teach many, many realms of chemistry on paper. Doesn't mean I'm particularly good at it. Doesn't mean that I haven't revised this in a long time, but I know a lot of things. So because of that, I thought it would be a fun thing to do. And today my focus would be on balancing chemical equations. This is really, really fun. Ta-da! I know, even teachers have to have a reason to talk about whatever they do, you know? You do need you know, a background. I'm a big believer in meritocracy, if that makes sense. Well, believer in meritocracy doesn't sound correct. I hope to live in a world of meritocracy. I think it's an idealistic view, of course, but behold the whiteboard. El Nino is when the sea temps in the tropical eastern Pacific are 0.5 degrees or more than average. That means extreme weather and nastier hurricanes, etc. Oh, I see. Is that an American focused kind of thing? In the USA, meritocracy means you hire a family. It can be worldwide. Oh, cool. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I hadn't heard about it before. Are we going to mix sodium and water, please? What would you like to see? What would you like to see, chat? So I have a book. Impressive qualifications. Yeah, I'm very interdisciplinary. Ugh. I definitely think I'm a jack of all trades, but a master of none. But obviously, I will be referencing a textbook. I just grabbed this textbook for free. It was lying around. That sounds bad. That sounds like I robbed it. We have a weird table in my university where you just leave stuff that you're throwing out for people to take. And students can take them. Anyone can take them. And someone left a bunch of chemistry books. So I just picked this up. I have no attachment to this book. But yeah, it's just a book that I end up grabbing for free. Oh, only the purest form of sodium here. Oh no, that's League of Legends Science Fish. We're not that salty. Oh, tea is so good. I've been drinking now that it's still hot in Ireland, but there's no scorching weather anymore. I can actually finally drink tea again. Sorry, what I'm laughing at is they want to show Avogadro's number in this textbook, okay? I'm going to show it to you, chat. You see this? Avogadro's number. And it wants to show you, like, how big Avogadro's number is. It shows, like, age of the Earth in seconds, population of the Earth in the billions, right? Look at what it says for the average college tuition. It says that the average college tuition is in the 1,000. Hold up. How old is this book? How old is this textbook? Hey, look at this. It's an American textbook anyway, yeah. When did it get published? Well, no, with the significant finger highlighted, it's in so 3 zeros. 3 zeros is all you're allowed to use for where they highlighted. Unless they meant 9,000. But even 9,000 sounds pretty cheap. I don't see the publication date. What the feck? Cornell. The authors are from Cornell University. 1998! This is an amazing quality condition book. But yeah, 1998 is how old this textbook is. And it claimed that the average college tuition was maximum, I guess, referencing 1,000. Yeah. There you go. My degree was in oceanography. The sea surface temps this year are mildly terrifying. Can imagine, yeah. It's older than Star Wars Episode 1 and has held up better. How expensive is it in Ireland? It is 3.5 grand a year. So if you were going to do 4 years in Ireland. We have a lot of support schemes in Ireland though. If your family earns less than something like 60k a year, you get everything paid off. There were 3.5k when I was a student. If you're an Irish citizen, here's the conundrum. If you're an Irish citizen, it is 3K a year. But if you're not an Irish citizen, you have to pay full fees. But here's how bad the full fees are, or like the extreme. If you're an American coming into Ireland, you pay like 15 grand for full fees. We have so many students that come to Ireland from the States because it is cheaper to pay full fees here, pay for accommodation, pay for food, than it is to go to university in America. This is my first print on the Creality 3D printer. We called him Hal. Do you know the way you print the boat usually? In this one, it was an octopus. We named him Hal. It's a flat rate in Ireland. It doesn't matter if you go to Trinity University or to any other university in Ireland. The fees are 3.5K a year for state university. It doesn't matter which uni you go to. Is it 3.5 or 3? I think it was 3. I feel like they reduced it recently. I could be wrong. And there is a lot of financial support in Ireland. You do get SUSI grants. SUSI grants is a funded thing. Now, accommodation is a joke at the moment in Ireland. To be able to move to the university, food prices are up, all of that. Mind if I rent your spare bedroom? I don't have a spare bedroom, science bitch. Literally, like, if I were to have a kid, I have nowhere to put the kid. I have a shed. Because I'm not giving up this room. So we need... Yeah, Bambi has the hallway. Unless Bambi and the baby can share the hallway. We've no space for a kid in this house. Because Nathan has a spare room for the gym. I have the spare room for the streaming room. Who's trying to steal your lab? Possibly a future child, Pachinko. We were just like, consider if we start a family, where do the kids go? So I think we need to buy a bigger house. It'd be sad to see this room go, but yeah. Just to get this out of the way, it's frowned upon to house babies in a shed these days. But you can buy like these extension houses things. With like central heating and stuff. Yeah, potential future. No, it's true. It is a potential future, you know. I'm not pregnant, nothing like that. But, you know, we have to think of the future. We got married, we bought a house. Gotta think of these things. Underground bunker. True. Something. There's a... Aren't there like people giving out to the world that there's not enough humans in this world? Something. God, I can smell the PLA. I usually have the window open, but because of the fires, I can't have the window open. We're going to consume a lot of microplastics today. Oh yeah. Nothing like the fresh smell of microplastics. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to have a bit of fun with, well, not microplastics, but we're going to have a little bit of fun with practicing balancing equations. I actually think this is the funnest part of chemistry. Are you part of the EU? EU have new customs law this month. Is that the €3 on ordering stuff outside of the EU? Because I'm getting absolutely fecked with that at work. We are getting so screwed. Is that the same one, Rolf, you're talking about? Yeah, the €3 thingy. Absolutely so screwed academically. Like, because you order things for the lab, and they're adding that €3 charge per item you're ordering. And if anyone has dealt with administrative staff, we reject this order because it is $68 off and God knows what else. And yeah. per item, because they say that it's the classification of the item, but it's not, it doesn't work out that way. It ends up being per item. And become a monster. Yeah, I don't know. How do you guys feel, if there's anyone else in the EU? How do you guys feel about the $3 thing? For me, obviously, I have to rethink Amazon a lot more now. So, because I used to order some of my electronics on it before. Obviously, we don't like, you know, paying extra money, but I'm struggling it from a personal work experience wise. Like, it's a huge problem in my work. What's the money for? Oh, the government takes it. It's tax. It's a tax. It was just added this month, at the beginning of this month, Dashmish, or at the end of last month. They're charging $3 for anything that's ordered outside of the EU. So if you have Amazon or you order on anything like that. Someone said Temu and AliExpress. For example, I don't order off Temu or AliExpress, but I do have a lot of American companies that need to order a lot of components and things like that. But yeah, €3 for each PLA, exactly. Although I think that might not be true. It's for orders under €150. There. Oh, that's still a lot of money though. 150. It is to stop the whole Temu, Shein, AliExpress thing, I think. Yeah. I think it's okay, Dashmish, because I've been trying to switch from Amazon UK to Amazon.ie, the Irish one. I'm having an issue. I think I have to contact Amazon because, yeah, it's been a concern for a while, but I've just been... Why I have to be careful is my freaking Prime is attached to this Twitch stream, to this Twitch account, so I have to be careful if I fuck up anything. Because all my taxes are on this, and like I have to legally pay taxes here in Ireland, and it's... yeah. Hi, bloatware. It's not bad for Britain because Britain isn't in the EU. It doesn't affect them in any way. The Brits get to live life as if nothing bad has happened. Well, like I said, for me, for personal expenses, for personal use in my stream and my lab work is the problem here. That's true, Vizier, yeah. So if you're ordering bamboo. But I was ordering the cheaper PLA because PLA is so expensive. I was being a cheap fuck before. Sorry, I'm looking at the Bullet Explode periodic table. That in my office. My wiper. I forgot to change one of the PLAs to white, so we're getting grey and white print instead. Sorry, chat, I fucked up. I fucked up. Let me turn up the gain so you guys can hear me, but you might hear the 3D printer in the background. Apologies. It's just the way it's going to be. You have the best shirts, so you must be doing something in life. This is by Everyday Steminist, Chloe Lipton. It's her merch. was trying to support her. That's true. I heard about bamboo. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because bamboo is quite expensive. Like any branded 3D printer company that sells their filament are very expensive. You can buy cheaper stuff for sure. Yeah, I buy the refills. So I have the spools. I buy the spools. It is better for the environment in that way. So get spools like this. And then I have a whole stack of refills here. And you put them in. Ah, class! That's a really cool 3D printer, Evandra. It is really, really cool. And it's everything. It's a laser and everything, isn't it? Yeah, the make it your own filament costs like 3,000, I think, Rolf. So, maybe not. Maybe not. All right. So, lab rats and labradoodles and everything in between. What I'm going to teach you today is about the idea of balancing chemical reactions. Now, from a physics perspective, the lesson is actually quite simple. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. This is just the laws of thermodynamics. If you put A and B in, you have to get A and B out in some shape, way, or form. So, for example, let's take hydrogen and oxygen. When you mix hydrogen and oxygen together, what do we get? There's a bit of a delay and a lag, so I'm going to pause. Get YouTube chat up here. Water, exactly. Now, when we have hydrogen by itself in the air, sorry, I'm going to move the camera a bit. When we have hydrogen by itself, trying to figure out the best camera angle here. It's usually as H2. Oxygen is usually also in the same way, O2. This has got to do with their electron configuration. This is the state that they prefer to be in. We can talk about that some other time. So when you mix hydrogen and oxygen together, you get... It's not really an equal sign. We usually use arrows in chemistry to show in which direction the chemical reaction goes, because it can also go in both ways. Now, let's look at this carefully. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Okay, we can't create matter out of nothing, all of that good stuff. So if you look at this maths, in this chemical reaction, we have 2 hydrogens coming out, but we only have 1 oxygen. This is not a balanced chemical reaction. So we need to do a few things. We need to get an extra, oh, exactly. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add a 2 in front of it. Check this out, chat. I fixed it. I've put a 2 in front of this, right, whole chemical equation. It has become twice oxygen. But I think I messed up. Exactly, zero. Now we have 4 sets of hydrogen. H2, there's 2 hydrogens. 2 times 2, 4. We actually have 4 of them now. Where do I get that from? This is how hydrogen is. It bonds with another hydrogen. And I have 2 of those molecules. So that means we have 1 other guy here. Let's count how many hydrogens we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So to balance this reaction, put a 2 in front of it. Now check your maths. It actually works out really nicely. Now this is a balanced reaction. Now we are going to learn about moles. We are. Some of you might have said, well, tofu, why don't you just add this instead? What's wrong with this one now? This is bad. This is real bad. Why can't we just do that? Exactly. That's a completely different reaction. That's not water. This is peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide specifically. This is a bad thing. Don't drink that. Do you know the joke? A chemist walks into the bar, orders, goes to the bartender and says, give me H2O. And the other guy says after him, give me H2O too. That's the joke. Don't drink this. This is bad for you. So this is a very, very simple application of the laws of thermodynamics of balancing chemical equations. And you might say, well, why is that important? And that's a great question. Why is it important to balance chemical equations? Well, I can speak from experience that it's really important to balance chemical equations because if we need to track the amount of protons that cross the membrane in a chemical reaction in a battery, and for every reaction, 2 protons have to cross over. That's double the amount of particles that are going to cross over than we initially thought, which means the amount of transference that occurs is double than we expected. So you can imagine that this is a huge, huge misconception or a huge mistake to happen in your system. You do need to know just how many molecules are needed in these reactions and to keep track of these little things. That was me eating a mint leaf, and if anyone thought I was being crazy. I mean, I'm still crazy, but that's a different thing. All right. I've never heard the joke, have you not? It's a classic. I'm glad I got an opportunity to share that joke with you. What about H3O? What kind of bond is that? Is that possible? I don't see it being possible. I don't know what it is. I think it's heavier water. Oh, H3O plus. Yes. Okay. Yeah. H3O plus does exist. And OH negative even exists. So, yeah, those are different things. We won't get to that just yet. Yeah. But those are important in batteries, actually. Very, very important in batteries. All right. I might give you some problems to solve. Here's your first problem. Propane is a colorless, odorless gas often used in heating and cooking. Write a balanced equation for the combustion reaction of propane with oxygen yielding carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so what gas do you guys need for fire to burn? Propane is oxygen, exactly. So when you have propane and oxygen together, you have combustion. Finish the chemical reaction of combustion, number 1. And number 2, balance it. That's the challenge I give you. Just a little bit of fun for yourselves. My definition of fun is probably very, very weird. I was going to say, I hope you don't judge me, but you know what? You've been here long enough to know what the definition of fun is on this stream. Oh, speaking of, while you're solving that, I finished the print. This guy here. A model demonstration of relativity. General relativity. It's pretty cool. Okay, so when fire burns, we always talk about what it produces. It always produces CO2, right? Carbon dioxide. And another thing that it produces in this process is water. I think. Yeah, it is water. So, how do we know that it'll be water and CO2 before actually doing the experiment? Initially, in the first few discoveries, yes, we needed to do the experiment. But we know it pretty well now because we know what's going in and what will be always favorable. If it's combustion, CO2 does get created. Whatever left over has to be a combination of water or something and so on and so forth less. There are definitely more favorable states than others. And it's something that you will learn by instinct studying over chemistry. But also it's something that you could learn off. There are potentials. Maybe that's the wrong word. There are energy more favorable combinations of molecules over others. Does that help? Did I make it worse? I probably made it worse. If you don't have complete combustion, do you get carbon monoxide? Why does carbon monoxide form? Is it not enough oxygen or is it a recycle? So in your fireplace, if your fireplace is clogged, it tends to form carbon dioxide, isn't it? Or carbon monoxide. Is it a two-cycle system? Okay. Guess that answered your own question there then, Grim. All right, let's start balancing the equation. Let's look at the first one. C3. How many carbons do we have on this reaction? We only have one. So immediately off the top of our head, let's finish this. Let's go. Well done, team. Good job. Let's keep going. We have 8 hydrogens on this side. How many hydrogens do we have here? 2. To change this, we need 4 more of these molecules to equate those reactions. All right, let's see if this works out. Plus 102. Oh shit, what did we just do here? Okay, nobody panic. We have 3 sets of O2s over here. 4 sets of single O's over here. So we need 5 sets of O2s over here to balance these guys out. Did I do that right? Check my work. You guys need to check my work as well. Absolutely, Ika. Yeah, when you study chemistry initially and you say, okay, propane and oxygen will create CO2 and H2O, you're absolutely right. One of the things that chemists, when they do these reactions, again, because it's introductory level and it's, you know, for young children coming in or young students coming in, it's important to note that statistical probability is a thing. It's from mostly what happens is that 99% of the reactions occur this way, but 1% can occur another way. In fact, there's probably like 4 or 5 different types of reactions that could occur at that given moment. Statistical probability is probably a thing you mean. It's an older equation, but checks out. So there we go. This is how we burn propane. Where'd you guys get propane usually? Further reactions, that's true. As in, where would you use it? I don't know about Home Depot. Gasman, gasoline. I think is it in the like little grills, little the gas canisters you can get for little traveling cooking gas. If you're out sailing on yachts. No, those are usually butane. Oh, okay. Then where would you use propane? Okay. The gas? Oh no, that's gas, man. No, never mind. I was going to say kerosene is different. We have propane grills. Okay. Huh? I didn't know that. Not like camping stuff. Okay. Also have propane tanks they use for heating. Cool. We live and we learn. Okay, here's another mathematical problem or chemical reaction problem for you, chat. The major ingredient in ordinary safety matches in potassium is potassium chlorate, KClO3, a substance that can act as a source of oxygen in combustion reactions. The reaction with ordinary table sugar, sucrose, C12H22O11, for example, occurs violently to yield potassium chloride, carbon dioxide, and water. Write a balanced reaction for this. Okay, that's crazy. I'll help you out with this one just to start because listening can be quite difficult. I don't mean that sarcastically. I genuinely think listening is quite hard. So let's take the matchstick. KClO3. Cl is one element. K is one element. The other one is O3. I don't think we can play fetch with Bob. No, sorry about that. And then we take sucrose. C12H22O11. Okay, so what do we create in this process? We create a salt, KCl. We create carbon dioxide, CO2. And I'm just running out of space. And we also create H2O. Water is a very popular byproduct in a lot of chemical reactions. Water is very favorable because oxygen is usually around in a lot of places. Yeah. It's just a thing that happens quite often. Wait, you're telling me that if I run out of salt, I can just blow up some sugar with a match instead of going to the grocery store? I wasn't even thinking about the NaCl. What I was thinking about was, in this reaction, it's the matchstick to the ignition. So you would have to, it isn't just setting the sugar on fire. You actually have to immerse the filament, the powder of a matchstick as well. So it'll be very, very small. Yeah, I don't know how that works out. That's very, very difficult to do, I would say. Can you even eat KCl? I don't think so. Can you? I'm lazy, but I don't want to go out. What you could use is collect your tears, Grim. Just cry a whole shit ton and use your tears and your sweat, actually. Your sweat is very salty too. Use your sweat instead for cooking.
That still only counts as one.
I don't know how you feel about that information, though. It might be quite upsetting to hear this. You can eat KCl. Yeah, you would run out eventually. That is true, Grim. It's only a short-term solution. Yes, KCl is a common low-sodium table salt alternative. Okay. My bamboo printer is almost done. It's getting really, really hot in here. With my 2 3D printers working, I can't open the window because of our smog. That's how French chefs season their food, with sweat and tears. Also, you can eat most things once. That's true. All right, will we have some fun trying to balance this chemical reaction? First of all, let's keep track of the K. Yay, the K's okay. Let's track the Cl. We have one Cl on this side, another Cl on the other side. Not to be confused, your Cl with K-pop. With the baddest CL. This might be a completely different generation of K-pop fans, so a lot of people probably don't know it. Now, let's keep track of the oxygen. O3. There's an O2 over here and one O here. Would you look at that? It's actually balanced. Let's freaking go. Not bad at all, if I do say so. Here comes the kicker. This sucrose is an SOB, and it's actually causing a lot of problems in our balancing equation here. So let's have a look at this. There's 12 carbons on this side of the reaction. We only have 1 carbon over here. So we know we need to have 12 carbon here. This obviously screws up a lot of things for us immediately. But patience. Patience, chat. Let's keep track of the hydrogens. We have 22 hydrogens over here. We have a H2 over here. To balance that reaction, we need 11 H2Os. Okay. Things are getting complicated. We have 11, 3, which is 14 oxygens on this whole side. How many oxygens at the moment do we have on this side? Well, we have 24. $35? Is that right? I have 35 oxygens on this side? Yes, 35. Okay, so we have 35 oxygens. We have a combination of O11 and O3. How can we multiply them out to fix our oxygen issue? It is a lot of oxygen. It is. It's a huge problem. Sorry, Brand Songs. I don't understand what you mean in that case. Apologies. You want to rephrase your question? Let's see if we can fix everything else first, because I feel like the oxygen is going to be a huge problem. Or. Let's do something else. There's 35 oxygens here. 11 here. Can we multiply O3 by anything to get the sum of 35? So if you're terrible with mental maths like me, let's do it slowly. 35 minus 11 is 24. How many times does 3 go into 24? 8 times? Is our oxygen balanced at the moment? Our oxygen is balanced. Now we go back again. We go again. We go all the way back to the beginning. We have 8 potassiums. Let's fix that. We'll make 8 potassiums on this side. We have 8 chlorine. We have 8 chlorine. That works out good. We know the oxygen is good. How's our carbon? 12 carbon. We're all good with carbon. How's our hydrogen? Our hydrogen's good. There we go. We have balanced our chemical reaction. That would have been a bit challenging had you focused on this one. But I guess it was kind of easier to do because the KCl, the remainder of the oxygen here, they were together, so whatever you multiplied this guy by, you could have easily just fixed it immediately just to multiply it by that. Cora, wait a second. Aren't you in the middle of your stream? What are you doing? Lurking. Thank you so much for the biddies. Appreciate it. Balance to the force has been restored. Really appreciate the biddies, guys, more than ever before, so thank you so much for the financial support. Every sub, every bit means a lot. Hey, Hobo! So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go for a quick break. I'm going to make myself an alcoholic beverage. So while the alcoholic beverage is kicking in, I'm actually going to leave you with a puzzle to solve. And I don't know the answer to this, so we're going to solve this together. Oh shit, what the fuck is this? Look away! Don't get traumatized. Chad, don't leave me. I promise, everything's gonna be fun. Hi, by the way, Brazan, welcome in. Whiteboard time, yes. So I'm just going to get this guy to dry. We can write the next equation on the board. So the equation I'm going to challenge you with is, ooh, you're going to love this one, chat. Fermentation of sugar to yield alcohol. Oh, a lot of you are very excited for this chemical reaction. So I'll write it up for you. So we have the fermentation of sugar to make ethyl alcohol. I'll give you another one because you guys are so smart. I'm going to show you the reaction for rusting of iron. The iron just by itself usually? And the last reaction is the synthesis of hydrazine for rocket fuel. Okay, so this is how we make rocket fuel. This is cool. So, can't say I don't give you cool examples. Well, the second one might not be so cool. So the first example is I want you to challenge yourself in balancing these equations. The first one is making alcohol out of sugar. The second one is rust. Pain in the ass, but we have to deal with. And obviously, this is the formation of hydrazine, which is rocket fuel. So with that, I challenge you all to work on this problem for a little while I go on a break. I'm just gonna go get alcohol. One of our prints are done, which is great. Oh, we have loads of answers in the chat. Great to see people working on this. I find like these little problems particularly are just like fun. I don't know. There's less fun stuff to do. Confirm flaming. One of our prints is done as well, which is great to see. Ah, shit, the Creality 3D printer lied. It said that it would print in 2 hours, but it actually is... No, it was the Bamboo that lied. Bamboo said it would take 1 hour. Oh no, it's not the Bamboo that lied. It's Creality. They both lied. Why are they lying to me? If it's going to take longer, just take longer. God damn it. It's like the washing machine. Says it'll be done in 20 minutes, and it's like an hour. And it's like, why are you lying to me? Just tell me. Been bamboozled. They sit on a throne of lies. All right, let's see how we can solve this. So we have C6 on this side, 6 carbons. On this side, we have 2 carbons and another one there. So it might be a bit presumptuous, but I might just put a 2 in front here and a 2 in front here. It actually balances everything out pretty immediately for us, which is nice and handy. So that's 4 carbons, 2, 4 plus 2, 6, 6. It's balanced for now. Let's see what happens. 12 hydrogens. So we have 6 here, double twice, 12. Oh, would you look at that? Isn't that handy? Nice and nice, yeah. Then we have O6, which means 6 oxygens. We have 1 oxygen here, twice, 2. 2 times 2, 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. Did you look at that, chat? First try and all. First try and all. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, let's look at the rusting equation. Fe is iron. There's 2 irons on this side, so we need to put 2 irons on that side. Voila. Nice and easy. Oh no, wait. O6. We have O2 here. Oh! Oh shit. We have a problem. What are we going to do? Exactly, Sam from downtown. If in doubt, double down. So what we're going to do is, we're going to put a 2 in here, which means that there's 6 oxygens in total. We only have 2 oxygens here. We have 3 of those O2s, we have 6. The oxygen is balanced. Let's fix the iron. We now have 4 irons over here. Let's make 4 irons over here. Voila. Nice and handy. So that can happen sometimes, and do not be alarmed to go backwards again. Explains why alcohol is so prevalent. Last reaction here. We have 1 nitrogen on this side. We have 2, 3. Okay, so for now, I can just put a 3 here. Let's see what happens. We have 3 hydrogens. Oh shit. We have 4 and 4. 8. Oh no, we don't have 3 hydrogens. Sorry, we have 9 hydrogens. And 8 here. What are we gonna do here, chat? Okay, nobody panic. It's fine. We'll fix this. We'll fix this. Let's forget the nitrogen. Let's look at the hydrogen for now. If we have H3 and H8, we'll say, how many... What do we need to do? Oh. Let's even make it simpler. Trying to think ahead here. Sorry, I'm trying to solve this ahead of time. So I have like a pretty solution, but maybe we won't bother for now. Maybe it'll be better for me to fuck this up so you guys can see how I mess up and then learn from my mistakes. Sorry, my music is wrong. I have to be careful about copyrighted music in the background. Let me fix that real quick. Surviving Mars, here we go. Okay, so if we have 3 hydrogens there and 8 in total, what's the common denominator for 8 and 3? 24, right? But there's 2. Okay. So if I have 3 here, 3 here, and 8 here, I balance the reaction. 24, 12, plus 12, 24. Okay, I balanced the reaction. I know I fucked the nitrogen. Don't worry about it. Let's leave the nitrogen behind for now. We'll get back to him. We'll go back. No, you're absolutely right, call me. That's exactly what we did. Let's look at Cl now. There's 2 Cl's on this side. There's only 1 Cl on this side. No, there's 3 of them here. So 3. And 2. So we need to make this 3 and 6. It's okay. We're gonna fix this. Let's go back to the nitrogen. So let's look at nitrogen. We have 6, 6, 12 nitrogen and 8 over there. I guess we make 12 nitrogen. Does that solve that problem? Okay. How badly have we fucked the hydrogen now? Let's have a quick look. 3 times 12 is 36. So we have 36 hydrogens on that side. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 plus 12 is 36. 36, 36! Woo! High five! Our hydrogen is sorted! Let's go! And how's our Cl? 3 times Cl. 2, 6, there's 6. Hey! We did a team! Not bad. Not bad. Great spotted there, Zir. Absolutely. Let's look at these numbers. We can actually divide all of them by 3. Exactly. So 3 goes into 12. 4 times. Once. 3 times. Voila. Twice! I said twice. Don't look at me, chat. It was twice. I didn't make a mistake. That was all you. Hee hee indeed. Hee hee indeed. Alright. Not bad. That was a nice challenging one at the end. I don't know if there's a better way. I'm sure there's a more advanced way of doing it for more complex reactions. Most of the time, how I truly solve them is I eyeball them. Usually eyeball, obviously like you do the maths, but usually you kind of have an eyeball feel for them and it works out eventually. But you can do it systematically the way we did it. That is one way of solving these balancing equations. I feel like a couple of drinks are kicking in. I've only had like 4 sips of plum wine. I can't be that drunk yet. That's true. Linear equations would be easier to do it that way. So this is our first plate of Bob. Ta-da! The bamboo printer was done earlier. So there's still an hour and 20 minutes left for the other plate. Yeah, the Creality one has taken a while. I think the settings are just different. That might have made it more sturdier accidentally. But it is what it is. All right. Do we have time to go through Avogadro and the mole? I feel like that's a whole different lesson. Yeah, I think we'll go through the mole. Also, 3 plates versus 2. Yes, that is true. But it's not 1/3 longer. It's a good bit longer, or half times longer. Or, yeah, whatever. English is hard. It's a bad day. Generally speaking, I kind of had a quick peek at the textbook, and I don't like the way they teach the mole. I think the best way to teach the mole is physics. It has to be. Now, I have an interesting idea. I wonder if, during Kerbal Space Program, I can pause the game and look at the physics of Kerbal Space Program. Is that something that's done? Does anyone know? Would it be possible for me to, like, do physics at any given point during Kerbal Space Program? Does anyone know? Like, calculating thrust and stuff? That would be really, really cool, actually using Kerbal Space Program to teach physics. Going underground. Yeah, the mole always hurts my feelings just because of Avogadro, but yeah. Always sad to think about his story. I suppose one thing I could show you before I take it apart is I uploaded a new YouTube video called Logic Gates. If you guys attended, obviously, my live streaming lecture, you kind of got the summary of it. But I did add 2 new cool things into it. And it's a light switch that exists in your home. And, oh, sorry. This is the light switch that exists in your car. And this is a light switch that exists in your home using a exclusive OR gate. So yeah. Maybe it's something to quickly show what I built. Because it's something we didn't see earlier. Isn't there a YouTube channel where someone shows the mistakes in astronomical physics calculations of Kerbal Space Program? Oh, really? That's really, really cool. Bashy Bunny says, yes, please. So you know what? Because you were very kind and said please, I will do as you bid. My YouTube kind of crashed a bit. Sorry. To my YouTube. If anyone wrote anything in a while, I apologize. Weird button. All good. TSMC? I doubt it. Get the power supply. We'll move Bob over here. I don't know if we'll be able to assemble Bob. It would be nice to assemble him. Okay, I'm gonna bring the camera down. You guys can see this. Okay. So just to show you what we're doing. I'm going to show you some interesting logic gates that exist in your house. So the first one I'm going to show you is a XOR gate, or an exclusive OR gate. And in this bad boy, it's a really weird circuit where if 2 switches are in the same state, it'll be off. If they're in opposite states, they'll be on. So if you look very, very closely, the LED is off. And what I want you to keep an eye out is for these 2 yellow wires. At the moment, let me maybe zoom in a bit more. At the moment, they're in the blue line, which means they're both off. Let's change one into a high. If you look at that, the LED is on. Let's change both of them into a high, into the red line. Look at that, it's off. The low, it's on, both into low, it turns off. This is a XOR gate that exists in your house if you have a light in the hallway that you can turn off upstairs and downstairs. Does anyone have one of those lights in their house? Where you can turn off or turn on the light upstairs or downstairs? Yeah, exactly. So this is how it works. It's just one little chip. So let's say you come in downstairs, okay? So at the moment they're both off. And you're downstairs in the hallway and you turn off your light. So you turn on your light so you can go upstairs in the hallway. You go upstairs, you go into the bathroom, you brush your teeth, and you want to go and turn off the light in the hallway upstairs. You don't want to go all the way down, so you go to the other switch and you switch it. Would you look at that? You turn off the light. This is how a XOR gate operates. Now the other It reacted when you had... Yeah, so it's in an unknown state, Nukenaid, when it's not set into high or low. It's confused. Logic gates can get confused sometimes. So this one is also a very interesting circuit. Now this one has a triple input. Kind of cool. Okay, so what is this? This is for anyone who uses a car. I have 3 inputs here. I have one input in high that is if your car is on. Another input here that's in high at the moment if you're driving at 20 kilometers per hour. And the last but not least is if your seatbelt is not, i.e. in the negative line, buckled. Nina, 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 Nina. Your LED lights up. It's like, bruh, put on your fucking seatbelt. Stay safe. So let's turn off the ignition. Let's park the car. Okay. Let's turn on the ignition. Vroom, 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 vroom. Let's start traveling at 20 kilometers per hour. Oh no! Oh no! The alarm is ringing. Let's buckle our seatbelt and the alarm will stop ringing. Your car is filled with all of these interesting logic circuit gates and LEDs will light depending on certain conditions being met. Yeah, those are 2 logic circuits that I built for my most recent YouTube video. As always, I appreciate if you guys could support that YouTube video, if possible. Park the car before turning off the ignition. All good. It still works because of the AND gate. And you'd be surprised, well, maybe not surprised, but there's so many logic gates that exist like that. All alarm systems are basically logic gates. So studying this, if you feel like, oh, this is so basic, I'm so bored, why will I ever use this? If you're very nerdy and geeky, these logic gates are in, and sensors are in spaceships, in Artemis, in the International Space Station, all that really, really cool stuff. So any sensor that exists, any alarm that says, Nina, oxygen low, Nina, heat too high somewhere, are all just a bunch of logic gates saying, if this condition is met, this unique condition is met, ring the alarm. And as you can see from that demonstration, or as you can see from, you know, these logic circuits, they're everywhere. They're in your home, they're in your security, they're in your car, but they're also on the coolest places in the world, like I said, in Artemis or in a space station. So you are studying space level science. I'll have you know, Kip, that I'm an excellent driver. I'm a very good driver these days. Yes, yes, yes. I'm very good at driving. I don't get beeped anymore at all. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. Because usually you get beeped for being slow. So if I'm not getting beeped, does that mean I'm going too fast? This is fuckboy. It's elegant, the simplicity. I agree. I think it is really, really beautiful. I love simplicity. There's something about when physics is poetically described or written or expressed in a way that a general physicist, like not a amazing quantum person or anything like that, can understand it very quickly. And I think that's the power in science communication. I know a lot of people highlight that being a scientist and being a science communicator are different skills. And I do both. For example, I am a scientist, but I also do online science communication. And of course, being a lecturer, I'm technically communicating science. But do you know where else I think is really important to learn your science communication? Is in presentations in your research. So if you're a researcher and you're doing a conference presentation or a poster, learning science communication is extremely important. For years and years, I used to attend lectures, guest presentations, or at conferences. And sometimes the person will start talking and it goes over my head immediately. And I'm like, oh, damn, I'm not meant to be in this room. I'm not smart enough for this conference. Turns out, after again, the many years of experience I've had in this, turns out they were just not communicating their research well. They assumed that people just understood everything in their niche field research. And it is very niche. Even if, you know, you'll take something like a battery person. Even at a battery conference, there is a whole division of a whole bunch of batteries. If you're a lithium-ion battery expert, you wouldn't know much about vanadium flow batteries, and you wouldn't know much about the sodium batteries. You wouldn't know a whole lot of the details of it. And there's this assumption that you know. Because a lot of people don't know that. And they just fly over the topic and don't explain the details. It's very, very important. Yeah, I got beeped occasionally. I was very slow at roundabouts, and I wouldn't take... You know the way at a roundabout? There's little openings that you can be really risky and take those openings. Obviously, as a new learner, I wasn't taking the risks, and people behind me would get frustrated. Experienced drivers, so they'd beep me. Yes, I agree, Sonny. If only people would do more animations in their diagrams, yeah. It's basically IRL alchemy. I mean, most of science is like that, right? What is witchcraft? Why, you know, why was a witch called a witch when she mixed a bunch of herbs to make medicine? Now, was there any science behind it? The science that they did back then was trial and error. They tried a mixture of A, B, and C, A, B, D, E, A, E, D, and finally found out that there was a higher possibility of survival when you mixed mixtures of A, B, D. You know, witches of the day were just early scientists. That's a very biased opinion, by the way, just to be mindful. Hi, Gertrude, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for balancing the reactions today. I appreciate it on a day when we're doing chemical balancing reactions. Exactly, Bunny, yeah. Is she saying she's a witch? I would love to be into Wicca things, like crystals and healing powers and, you know, cursing assholes in this world that do you wrong. But it's hard. I'm very atheist. I'm sure you can guess anyway, but I'm extremely atheist, and I obviously don't believe in those kind of things factually and conceptually, and there's no evidence to back it up, but I love the premise, you know. I love the idea, and I suppose religion to that extent as well. That idea of releasing a burden on you into this being or entity or spiritual aspect that doesn't necessarily exist, but you can relieve a lot of your own pressure. I find that really nice. And in a way, I'm jealous of a lot of people who are religious or into spirituality or into Wicca, anything that isn't, you know, necessarily backed up by science. There's an element of ease, if that makes sense, to your heart. Even as something as simple as someone dying in your life. And you can say something on the lines of, well, they're in a better place. Kind of sad that someone like me, for example, you can try to lie to yourself, but it doesn't work. It's kind of dark setting in so many ways. Oh, that's true. We did burn the scientists for a while. Yeah. Although sometimes it does feel like those times can be coming again. Yeah, Spike, it does feel that way. The sacrifice lab rats go to heaven. Then where do all the calculators go? The calculator heaven, clearly. Check how my Creality printer's going. Oh, half an hour left. Oh, wow. No, that's not possible, is it? Oh, it is. Nice. Bottom desk drawer. Oh well, we ended up talking about some depressing stuff. Apologies. Guess these days I'm thinking a lot about those kind of aspects to things. I want to go through my anthropology book actually. I have to about a bit more on it. But yeah, no, I need to read more. I say I need to read more. It's just I think I need to sort out my schedule. Like I said, the biggest thing I need to do is doom scrolling. But as in less doom scrolling. But I think the best thing I could do is just remove my phone from me. I know I keep saying, oh, I want to be able to be in contact with people and stuff. But let's be real. How often do people call you about important things? Depressing. Did we run out of filming? No, I'm okay for filming for now. I have a whole pile here. Some really cool looking filament actually. I'll show you one of my cool. Oh, at the bottom. I'm coming for you. That metallic filament I can't wait to use. This looks really nice. Shiny metal. Ugh. God, I have so much PLA. Oh, really? I haven't tried the wood ones, no. Maybe I should look into it. Yeah, I haven't tried the wood PLA. It should be rather... Oh yeah, it's heavy. It's 1 kilogram. Well, I don't know if 1 kilogram is heavy, but it is 1 kilogram worth of PLA there. I think I might make a social media post of balancing these chemical reactions, like just write one equation board of the chemical reactions by themselves, and then the answers on the next slide. If anyone wants to challenge themselves, it might be a nice little social media post. Actually, while we're here, do any of you recommend nice physics games to add to my wish list? Not necessarily play, but add to the wish list. I might go into this overlay here so you guys can see what's on my Steam. So, is it for my profile? No. What do you guys want to look at? Library. So I have a whole bunch of games here. These are my to be played list. Obviously, Noxtra not included. Pacific Drive. Can't wait to play this. Don't judge me. Can't wait to play Resident Evil Requiem. Satisfactory would be good. Civ 6, of course. Until 2. Not physicsy, but you know. Maybe have carbonate in one of the reactions, as it would be an acid plus base is equal to salt, water, and gas. Yeah, probably. Planet Crafter's goated. I own that game. Where is it? Planet Crafter. I believe I got this as a gift. I have a feeling, would this be a fun game with CCC Anomaly? Would one of the girls be willing to play with me? How do I see a trailer? You will never get those games finished. Would Lana like it? Okay, maybe I'll play with Lana. I almost have enough not toxic drop, but you know, the channel points to make her play a game. So maybe I'll make her play with me. We'll stream together. And not crazy complex. Nice. What about pathogenic? Pathogenic. I haven't heard of that one. Pathogenic. Oh god, this looks awful already. Ugh. I hate these kind of games. I don't know what they're called. Spatial shooters? I know what that kind of game is. I'm not a big fan of those for some reason. You go pew 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 around in circles. Stellaris almost won once. Wait, I have 11 minutes in Stellaris. How did that happen? Back in 2022. Oh, COVID. COVID days. Human resource machine? No, I've never heard of it. Human resource machine. Oh, no, I have. You recently recommended it to me. Someone recently recommended it. It is about programming it, isn't it? What programming is it? Yeah, casual programming game, yeah. I have another programming game that once someone made me play and it was really interesting. I was kind of frustrated about it. Exapunks? Exapunk? The Crust? I think I own The Crust. Do I? Is that on the list? Okay, let me look for it. Crust. No, I don't own it. Is it on my wish list? Oh, it's on my wish list. That's why. Yeah, it's on my wish list. Is early access? Oh, it's leaving early access in the end of the... That might be nice to play it on release. It'd be great if you guys can remind me of these kind of games coming out on release. It'd be a nice way to support the devs. I'm really bad at that. So many streamers I watch are so good at playing games on release. And I'm like, how do they know? It just became released. How do they know? It's amazing.
That still only counts as one.
Primordialist. Oh, there's a Steam personal calendar. Hmm. Yes, I saw this gameplay before. This does not look like something I'd be interested in. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's actually a circuit simulator? Ah! I mean, if it's a game, why not? Wait. Crub? Are you sure it's called Crub? Circuit simulator? Crumb! Okay, there we go, there we go. It's actually just a circuit simulator. Oh, but it has so many components. Bruh. This might be worthwhile. Like, it's only... Look, it's only €8, right? One-time payment and you actually get something that works. You know? It might not be a terrible thing. Because there's so many, like, subscription-based ones that are terrible. Yes, recommendations, explore my calendar. Where do I find that? Recommendation? Where do I find recommendations? Oh, geez. Spike, I feel bad for saying I don't like it. I didn't... Just because I don't like those kind of games doesn't mean it's a bad game. I'm sorry. Next to browse. Browse. Oi. Okay. There we go. Recommendations. Explore my calendar. Ah. Upcoming. Oh, that's a nice thing. That's a great way of keeping track of games on release. Because I know I get sent games all the time, but I'm not the biggest fan of switching games too often. But if I have a game that's... Yeah, this is a lovely little setup. I love this. Ooh, Resonance is coming out in August. I don't know if I'll play it on release, but I'd love to support Anna. Really like her. Oh, this is cute. I remember this game. I didn't like the color, I remember. But we might keep an eye on it anyway. Yeah, Anna Dimitra, we raid her into her sometimes, and you guys might see me in her stream sometimes, yes. I really like Anna. I find her stream very soothing. She's a very soothing streamer. Not necessarily like she's a chill, cozy streamer, but she's just... I don't know, I can't describe. I like her stream.
We're doing laundry in line. Cat made a mess, well that's my day. But I keep on smiling anyway. Yeah, I'm tired, but still looking for being
Who the fuck iron socks? Also, like, what with the amount of plates?
But please, be a good wife and don't make me angry.
Do you know what? I'm going to give it a grain of... What's the word? Salt, or whatever it's called. And it's to show the absurdity. You know what I mean? It's kind of... I would like to think the best of the devs. Anyways. Oh my god! Valheim is being officially released! Valheim is finally getting a release. Did you guys know this was coming? Oh my god! Incredible!
I still only count as one.
That's amazing. Jesus, I've never got far in that game, clearly. So excited. Oh shit, did I miss the Summer Game Fest? I did, didn't I? I usually watch it. Did I miss it? Wait, did it happen? Oh no, that was back like 2 months ago, right? No, that's fine, that's fine. I had. There's another one coming up. Gamescom? Oh, I think it's Gamescom I'm mixing up now. Yeah, no, I watch Game Fest. Yeah, I did watch Game Fest. I usually watch those things. I watch rarely watch the Nintendo one, but I watch the Xbox, PlayStation, and the PC ones. This is such a handy tool. I didn't know about the calendar. Thank you so much, chat, for opening of this up. It's a nice way to, like, let's say I finish a game. And it's a great way to play a game on release, support the devs, support its, you know, especially since I prefer indie games anyway, usually. These days, anyway. Dive or Die sounds like a horror movie for me. Oh, Bookshop Simulator. Adam, thank you so much for your Prime. Really appreciate you giving the Prime to me out of everyone else. Very honored. And yeah, I really appreciate the support on this channel. It means more to me now, more than ever. God, an online horror co-op game. Oh, you can pick up a rat. It's nice. Yeah, that's a handy too. Thank you. Yeah, the horror Star Trek game. I'm so looking forward to Kvasir. I'm also looking forward to Outposts. Yeah. I avoided it because I'm trying to save money this year. Yeah, I for the longest time, I actually stopped buying PC games. I tried to follow Miss Mika, gave me a great advice. Not me personally, but you know, she had a very good clip. And she said that she doesn't buy games on wishlist on sale very often. Instead, she buys the games as soon as she wants to play them. And she finds that she saves money that way better than buying all the games on the wish list. So for about, I think, 2 years, 1 full year for sure, I followed her advice, and I did statistically spend less money than buying games on sales only. Take what you will from that, but yeah, I did save money. I did. Yeah, that's a great idea. No, Samavad, I'm actually about to start it. So we either chat here for 15 more minutes and build Bob, or we just kick off Kerbal Space Program. And we're just exploring games that we think might be physics education-y. If I did that, my wish list would go about. How does it work? I assume that the concept is that you buy games that you won't actually play if they're on the sales. So the idea is let's say you've like a whole long ass wish list and there's a sale on, you just don't buy them. Whatever you're playing right now, you play, and then you're like, you know what, I want to play something else today. Let's say you're like, I'm feeling a city builder, and you scroll through the city builders and you're like, you know what, I'm going to try this tycoon game. And you click in there and you play the tycoon game, and that's it. You buy it immediately. Pick off Kerbal. Are there any really good shortest path games out there? What's the shortest path game, Rathanel? We got a hype train because Adav gave a Prime, #1, and #2 because you are chatting so much. Such chatterboxes.
Choo choo! Motherfucking choo-choo!
I add things to my wish list so I get notified when there's a sale on Steam. I'm gonna actually take. Oh, I can't take a picture of this. I'm gonna take a picture of this to post these reactions. Factorio is a circuit simulator. I agree. I agree. I have Satisfactory as well, yeah. And by the time I get them, I've lost interest. Exactly, some of that. I think that's the problem. You wishlist a game that you think you're going to play, and then by the time it comes around, yeah, it's really hard to get into it and stuff. Actually, can I ask you guys, is the mic picking up the 3D printer a lot? Because if not, I'd like to 3D print something else on my bamboo. I hear you music and okay, perfect. So I might. It's not the Creality then. The bamboo I want to go into. Pink and orange. I have green. Oh! Oh, I need yellow. Okay. Or I need pink. Either yellow or pink. What do I have? Oh, I have pink. Come on. I just stuck all the time. One particular one that gets stuck. Don't do this at home. Polybridge, yes. There's another user that was mentioning it on YouTube as well. Son of a bitch, it's really stuck in there. Oh wow, I see why. Okay. No wonder it got stuck. Get in there. Oh my god. Hell is fun. Jeez Louise. I didn't know any better. Ha ha! I got you there, Frizzerp. Wait, how did you bypass it? You copy and pasted the exact same message, and you used the banned word. How is that possible? No, his disallowed message is still banned. Oh shit, I'm printing the wrong plate. This was the print. Yeah, that's the print plate I meant to print. Hi Manan, welcome in. How are you keeping? There we go. Perfect. So let's look at the Creality printer. It's 8 minutes left. So I feel like we should... Yeah, we've only 8 minutes left on the print. We might run a quick break. We come back and we build Bob. I went about halfway through Satisfactory and then realized I need to organize my building. Stop. I hate when that happens. It's just better to start all over again, but I hate reorganizing. It's such... Nathan is so good with that. Nathan will reorganize things in his games really, really well. And he's so good for doing that. He's been hardcore addicted to Anno. Been playing Anno a lot recently. All is good. I hope everything's going well. Everything's okay. Actually, yeah. What should I say? Twitch streaming means to me something more than anything it has ever before. In the sense that I really need this for distraction. I need this for entertainment. I need this for positivity in my life right now. So in that way, I'm not doing too okay off stream, but on stream you guys are really helping me out mentally and of course financially more than ever before. So yeah, he gives her cups of limoncello. That's right, Morgan. I get limoncello cocktails from Nathan, except for today. He didn't give me... We ran out of limoncello. That's why I'm on the plumbed wine. I'm glad to be of service. I am honored by your presence, Whale. So that's why we stopped playing Mass Effect, is because I need a brain active distraction. Pet the mods. Pet Zier. Pet. I'm just here for the ride. Abstract strategy games? I don't understand that division for those. I'm not sure what that is exactly. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to top up my wine, get some ice. When we come back, Bob will be finished, and we're going to assemble Bob. We're spending so much time in this. I hope we have time for Kerbal Space Program. I think we do. I'm positive that we're going to have time for Kerbal Space Program. Don't know how much time though, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I'll be right back. And minus 60.55 degrees. We have now an expression for our total impedance. So now we can calculate what our total current is. This is why I made you switch to polar form. Our voltage source was given, it was 5 with a 0 degree. And we divide by this impedance that we just calculated. We get 63.9 milliamps at an angle of 60.55 degrees. The angle is positive. Remember, this is 0 degrees minus 60.55. You add them. We're almost done with the current. But remember, what we need to do is measure what is the current going through this capacitor. This is exactly like the DC circuit. We want to know what the ratio of the current is. If the resistance is super high here, there's going to be very low current. And so it's the inverse relationship of those two ratios. That's why resistor is on top over the sum of the resistor and the capacitor. Don't forget to multiply by the current, the total current in our circuit. We're trying to get a ratio of that current. This rectangular form we solved previously, so you can lob in your numbers, 110.5 ohms and minus 64.8 degrees. Our Norton's current is 27 milliamps at an angle of 125.35 degrees. Yes, you can have a very large angle. Do not be alarmed. So the first part's done. We've calculated what the current is. The last part that we need to do is calculate what the resistance would be, or the impedance. So redraw your circuit, short your voltage source, and the current is going all the way through the capacitor, and oops, it splits. There's two paths the current can take. So the order of the impedances is a little bit switched from our first equation. Sub in our numbers again. The impedance of one of the capacitors was 50 ohms, so that is why it is not 100 here this time. Again, I'm a bit repeating myself, but you solve it using Pythagoras' theorem, 68.65 ohms. And the angle using tan, which is minus 46.8 degrees. Oh God, when is this going to be all over? We're almost there. We can now put in the angular form where we had the rectangular form. We can multiply the magnitudes, divide them, and add and subtract the angles accordingly. And very similarly as last time, we need to add two polar forms. Let's switch them to rectangular. Something that has minus 90 degrees means that it doesn't have a coordinate in the x direction, so we only have the y, i.e. y is just minus 100 j ohms. Pascal sign and cos to find what the x and y trajectory, or the real and complex form. That would be 24.9 and minus 23.27 j. Sub it in, add and subtract like with like. 24.9 ohms remains the same, minus 100 j and minus 23.27. Our Norton impedance becomes 24.9 ohms and minus 123.27 j ohm. We can redraw the circuit like this, where Norton's current and the impedance as a resistor and a capacitor. Or you could add another step and do this in polar form if you wish. But usually in my experience, this is the practice. I hope you found that educational, insightful, and a little bit support, especially for the students taking the courses and modules. This is very mathematical and academic, and sometimes it feels like, oh, why am I even doing this? More than anything, it's the skills that you develop and you understand how to solve this. When you work in industry, it might take you 10, 20 years before you actually end up using it again. But what's really important is that you develop the skill, and so if you do come across this again, you could relearn and reteach yourself very quickly and solve any problem that you come across. Happy circuiting. Have you ever been asked to calculate the centripetal acceleration of the moon? Probably not, but because we love to do maths and physics, let's do it anyway. The radius of the orbit of the moon is 384,000 kilometers. The period of this orbit, or the time it takes to complete this orbit, is 27.3 days. This corresponds to all the full moon stuff that you know about. Because in everything in physics we work with SI unit, we need to convert 27.3 days into seconds. 24 hours, 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 2.36 by 10 to the power of 6 seconds. A very to scale diagram, as you can see. The formula for centripetal acceleration is v squared over r, the linear speed v. V is a distance over time. And we have something. We have the distance, which is the circumference of the orbit, i.e. it going around in a circle, and the time it takes to complete that circuit, 27.3 days. We can sub this equation into v, clean things up here, 1r cancels here and here, and our centripetal acceleration is 2.72 by 10 to the minus 3 meters per second squared. Don't forget the squared. If you want it in terms of g divided by 9.81, which is the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the Earth, you get 3 by 10 to...
Comment ça va? Très bien, merci beaucoup. No. Are you shy? Are you shy? I know, there's so many scary people in the chat. There's Louched, Fluens, Seribot, Samavar, Menan, Rookie, Zir. Look at them, they're so scary. They're so scary, aren't they? I know. Such scary people. We punish them, Buns. And you got boogers in your eye. Yeah. On my lap.
We won't keep her in here too long because there's a 3D printer in operation. Don't want her breathing in the fumes.
Yeah. Although, oh my god, you are shedding like crazy, Buns. Oh my god. Girl! What is this?
Okay, well. We're gonna pluck a chicken. We're plucking a chicken, chat.
Look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. So bad. I literally just did this to you yesterday. How are you shedding more than ever before again? Everywhere, buns. Flying everywhere.
There's just floof everywhere.
What is this? Coming out everywhere from you.
It's just everywhere. What is this? Huh. Too much fluff. Too much fluff. Oof. Bambi is in there out of free will and can leave at any time. And to be really wanted to, she could come down, and she will eventually. While I have her here, I might pluck her to gently hurt them, you know? Be gentle to your bunnies. Kind to the animals. Female bunny pattern baldness. She's what's the word? Not shedding. Trying to remember the proper term when she makes new fur. What's the process of a snake changing its skin? What's that called? Molting. Molting. My bunnies didn't used to molt. Not like this anyway. Bambi molts a lot. If you look really closely, you actually can see her new baby skin. Sorry, Bambi. If you look very closely at her fur, do you see those? There's like baby hairs here. There's like finer hairs. So they're the finer ones. You can see the fluffy ones. You can see there's like a line between them. Yeah, that's her new hair versus her old hair. Yes. She smells so good. Oh, bunny smell. It flops. Oh. It looks very valuable for felting. So I think rabbit hair isn't generally used. It's considered quite bad. It doesn't tend to stick. Yeah, I'll give you a treat. Not begging. So. You're welcome. You know what she's gonna do when I come up upstairs next time? She's gonna thump me. That's the thanks I get. That's the thanks I get. Let me pop YouTube ad up here. I lost them earlier. Oh no! My prince fell apart. Disaster. Try and fix that later. Right. Instead of licking toads, now we're getting sniffling bunnies. Alright, I think it's time to build Bob. Who's excited? I'm so excited. I just can't hide. I know when I think I like it. Woo! Oh no, I did use white. Oh, thank God. Okay. Bob is going to be white now. I suppose he was white before, actually. Mind. Prototype was great. Okay, so we're going to assemble. Avengers! Assemble! That a bit too much? Bob the Build It. Bob the Build It. Can we build it? Bob the Build It. Yes, we can. Okay, that was a bit much maybe. I'll shut up now. Sorry. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to embarrass you, chat. Are you guys embarrassed by me? Oh, interesting. I've increased the height by 2. No! Because I made this thicker by 2. This guy's thickness isn't 2 anymore. Oh my god. It was meant to be 3. Shit. Okay, the good news is it's actually only 2 plates that are butchered. These 2 plates are the only ones that are butchered. So we might fix that. And yeah, I guess Bob is not getting built today. We're gonna quickly fix that. Oh, shit. And I'm gonna do it now because if I don't do it now, I won't do it later. No? Mistakes were made, exactly. The transition fit becomes a press fit. Shove it in there. No, it's too much work, unfortunately. It won't work in that case. But what we'll do is we'll quickly fix it. So it's basically this plate. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to make this 3. That's all we had to do. That's all we fucking fucked up, chat. Three. And we morph this all. Copy and paste. Voila. All right. I'll do that printing off stream. Because otherwise we need to get gaming. So to YouTube, I'm saying goodbye. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Appreciate it. I'm going to still stream on Twitch because we're going to play some Kerbal Space Program. So I'll change the thing. All right, Kerbal Space Program. I really hope there's good physics in this. By good physics, I mean that I get an opportunity to like predict things and do some calculations on the board. That would be really nice, you know? Getting an opportunity to do calculations on stream.